Hey everyone, today we're going to be talking about a brand of glasses that I wear myself called Anglo-American. I'm joined by Chris.
Hello everybody.
Partly because he works for them and also because he's one of the most knowledgeable people I know in the frame industry. But before we get started, could you tell us a brief history of Anglo-American and what they're all about?
Yeah, briefly, Anglo-American was originally called American Optical, established in 1882. In the early 70s, three brothers bought it, Malcolm, Tony and Lawrence Jenkins. The brand was prolific across all opticians during that time, and we made frames for the likes of Elton John, Barry Humphries, David Hockney, Alan Wicker, and it just mushroomed from there onwards, to be honest. We supplied a lot of TV shows, series that go on some Netflix, and I think the idea is that there's no branding on our frames, so it is kept very traditional indeed.
Yeah, well, I like that aspect. When someone's buying an Anglo-American frame, you're paying for the actual quality of the frame itself rather than a name, which appeals to a lot of people.
Yeah, we don't do any celebrity endorsements whatsoever. Famously, we originally supplied Johnny Depp with his frame. There was no endorsement. He just liked the frame, he saw it, and he bought it.
Okay, so let's talk specifically about some of the models which are worn by celebrities.
Right, okay, so first of all, we're going to start with the best, as you've got to. You're going to love this. This is the original frame that was worn by David Hockney back in the 60s. It's a heavy acetate. All Anglo-American frames are now Italian acetate, okay? They're all hand finished. They're all hand assembled in the UK. It was also recently used in a movie worn by Brian Cox. Zodiac, the film Zodiac. So Brian Cox wore that in the film Zodiac, and as he
the one about the Zodiac killer.
Yes, Brian Cox played the psychiatrist, if I remember rightly, and that's the frame he wore in that film. I mentioned it briefly, but this is the Johnny Depp frame, the model number 406. Famously worn by Johnny Depp for a long time. It features, I don't know if I can bring it close to the camera, features original pin joints. So these aren't for decoration, these pins here. These pins actually hold the arm onto the front of the frame, as in a traditional way that was done for hundreds of years.
Makes it a lot more solid, doesn't it?
Makes it a lot more solid, and it just gives it that little bit more of a retro feel. This is probably one of our more famous frames. We've nicknamed this the Gandhi Frames. This particular model features a very original W bridge.
So there's no nose pads.
So there's no nose pads. This fits directly onto the bridge of your nose.
That's about as classic a frame as you can get.
This is as classic as it gets. It was actually worn on Netflix as a sunglass by the actor that played Daredevil in that original series. So he had it as a sunglass. Film producers used this purely because there were no logos on. We still supply a lot of ITV and BBC programming.
Okay, so that's kind of your classic Anglo-American. Yes. They're also producing glasses using more modern techniques, aren't they?
Yes.
The Airlight collection.
Okay, coming back to a separate material, back in the mid 70s. Anglo-American decided that they wanted to introduce a new material, and we introduced Airlight. Now, Airlight was a pre-hardened 2 to 3 mil acetate, which is actually very popular now. We actually invented it. So it's only up until recently that the material has been sort of welcomed with open arms. Our frames, again, if I hold this up to as close as I can for you, feature the pins. And we've also introduced here metal to metal joints. It stops the joints rubbing and wearing away.
So you can see here how a normal frame would open and close, and eventually this joint wears away itself, and it can make the glasses kind of splay apart over time. With the metal to metal joint, you don't get that at all.
But the tips have actually got a groove in them.
It grips a bit more than just a smooth surface, doesn't it?
That's basically all it's about.
I like that little detail. So can we have a look at some of the styles in the Airlight range?
What we've done as a company, we've taken models from the core range and we've just produced a number of these in the airlight material. So they range from this one that Robert is now modelling in a very cool styling.
I think this is the best one.
That's a very cool frame.
Quite squared off across the top and more rounded at the bottom.
We've got a crystal here which has been brushed.
Crystal. Crystal is a colour that's coming massively in fashion,
especially with the brush finish.
I'm not sure it's for me, but
I quite like it. I think it looks cool. Mickey Rourke famously wore one in the film Angel Heart, where he just tinted the lenses slightly. Just looked cool.
That's the Johnny Depp style again, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yeah. So to give you some ideas of colours, we've got greens. Now this is throughout the range, whether it's the core range or whether it's the airlight. Red. Selling a lot of red at the moment. Quite a nice pink, not overly bright, not too Barbie pink. It's just a nice pink. My favourite at the moment has to be grey.
Yeah,
I love grey. Grey is a great colour.
Yeah, well, this one's like kind of a bluish grey. I don't know if you can pick that up. Yeah, that is a nice colour. There's also quite a lot of variety in the tortoise shells, isn't there?
There's 4 or 5.
So from here, which is a relatively dark tortoise shell, to your kind of yellowish tortoise shell, which is a bit more vintage, isn't it?
Yeah, I think we call this demi blonde. This is a demi blonde colour.
Through to more orange tortoise shell.
Yeah, so the model previous was more original tortoise shell colour, if you like. So it's got the darker elements to it. Now some people don't like that.
They find it a bit too speckly, don't they? That's what I hear from people.
Yeah.
But if you've got the right complexion for it and you wear it with confidence,
all day,
it's a brilliant colour.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
Cool. Well, thanks, Chris, for giving us an overview
Pleasure.
of all that.
No problem at all. Anytime.
See you soon.
Thank you very much indeed. Thanks. Bye bye.